Back in that bag again. Whoa, yeah. Hey. Back in that, yeah. Tell them to watch it. Now I ain't talking my pockets, just know we ain't running out the way that we stock it. If I got it, you got it. If I call it, she sliding, tell her to mop it. Yeah, I got that shit doing. Damn, she took that thing off and bring it around. Going at it till I'm on. Put that 90 in a hole, I'm beating it down. I'm back in that bag again. Whoa. Oh, say less. I'm back in that bag again. Yeah. Oh, say less. I'm back in that. Yeah. What you doing? Yeah. I'm back in that. Hey, where you going? Hey, back in that bag again. Don't bring me around your friends. You know that I'm bagging them. Request me on Facebook, no, I ain't adding them. Positions I had her in. Word, let's make it a gathering. They loving that swag. Baby, nah, I'm Matic now, but she loving the splash again. I just be cashing in her buns, just like a wedding, I'm crashing in. Hundreds on hundreds, I'm moving and grooving. She wanna cut up, I'm slash again. Buckets on buckets, I'm switching edition. Back in my bag, going back again. Oh, feel like
ladies and gentlemen, I know you missed us, but after this brief break, we're back.
Like the desert misses the rain. I'm sure they were like, oh, I've been so thirsty for those two to come back.
They just soak us right up.
Between Two Wrenches podcast, exciting program today. Glad that you, however you watch us, YouTube, Facebook, maybe you listen on the Spotify.
Or the Apple Podcast.
The Apple Podcast. We're just waiting for that Rogan check.
Yeah.
From Spotify.
Yeah, I think they said it was in the mail. Rogaine, right?
Rogaine, yeah. The Rogaine check is not the Rogaine.
They feel bad because it didn't work for me. But Bic, on the other hand,
refund? Like, what do they give you back?
Right?
Refund check?
Yeah, they're like, hey, sorry, it didn't work. I've spent $652. I'm bald.
Did you know that David Beckham has had his hair done? Like he's gone to a specialist in Turkey
to get like plugs put in.
Apparently, it's some sort of new technology, some sort of new fangled technology where it grows and it does all the natural things. But yeah.
But it's like a cadaver's head hair.
I didn't do that much research. I just saw the before and after.
Was it a skin graft?
Yeah. I don't know. But it's like $10,000 if you want to go.
That's
to Turkey.
it.
Yeah. How much is your hair worth?
I mean, I feel like I know girls that spend that much in a year on their hair, and for me, it would be a lifetime.
Book it. Let's go to Turkey.
Let's go to Turkey. I've always wanted to Constantinople and Istanbul and
Middle East seems like a good spot for us. I feel like we'll fit right in.
Yeah.
Maybe not now. Let's hold off for a bit.
That's probably why it's so cheap.
Last episode, it was our first live episode.
It was great.
We had Elvis Shane on, and we had the coup. Adam was on.
That's right.
We recapped our trip out to Las Vegas and our trip back from Vegas
for SEMA.
So if you missed that one,
nice hat, by the way.
Like that?
Yeah, no, it's good. When I feel like we're going to be reeling off, there was so much that happened in obviously the weeks leading up to SEMA, but then the week in Las Vegas, the connections we made, the people we ran into. So I think that it's going to be an ongoing conversation for quite a while.
Yeah. And we're already making preparations for 2024,
yep.
Which is unlike us. Usually it takes us there's 3 or 4 months after SEMA where we're not sure if we're going to get invited back.
Right.
And
jury's still out. But I'm really proud. I think the reason why we were able to be invited back so quickly was our Airbnb was so far out of town this time that all the debauchery was just contained to southern Las Vegas.
Which was
hot, as I like to say.
Yeah. And because of our friendly bartender Ash in the booth, the Techmetric booth.
That's right.
Everybody was like, "You guys are the best." We're like, "Have another Bacardi rum punch."
Bacardi, you hear that?
We don't need tickets. We're VIPs up in here. No, it was great. Another big thing that we've got going on right now is Epic Willie's Adventure.
Yes.
By the time this comes out, we will have announced our teams for 2024.
That's right.
The Moonshine Run.
Very excited about that.
Starting and ending at the Bantam Jeep Heritage Festival once again this year. And then Appalachia is our destination. And you are actually...
I'm going tomorrow.
Spending your Thanksgiving in Pigeon Forge.
It's the sacrifices that we've got to do for work. You know, I had to uproot my family from Thanksgiving where they're not going to spend time with the rest of their extended family, and I just have to spend it strictly with mine in Pigeon Forge in a cabin in the Smokies so that I can research and deliver. Cooper, my job is to deliver.
I think we all just want to thank you for all of your sacrifice.
Thank you. Yeah, it's not easy being cheesy. But let me tell you, I'm pretty cheesy.
So
No.
you're going to be doing some scouting down there for
Yeah.
EWA 5.
There's so much to do throughout Appalachia. There's tons of, but we want to find the stuff that's not touristy, right? Like want to find, like I guess there's an insanely large trail system. And when I say trails that are, that 40s and 50s Willys Jeeps can traverse. So we're not looking to do rock crawling. But it is nice to get from...
We'll try, but we'll lose them. They're done now. They're gone.
Right. Because remember, 200 miles a day, 7 or 8 days, it's hard to make up time when the fastest you can go is 45.
With a tailwind downhill.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, with weight in the back. Yeah, it's challenging.
So we're looking forward to it.
That'd be
And
fun.
how many do we have?
17 teams this year.
17 teams. Here they are. They're all right
17 total teams.
So
there they are. Your camera's over here. There you go. See?
yeah, am I pointing at the right camera?
Look at that. Old Smoky making the top of the
That's right.
list. there.
Old Smoky. I'm going to go through them. Old Smoky, Team William Willies, Team Tofu, Team Robin Willies, The Doc, Ole, The Rusty Trombone, Wilhelmina, Wee Willie, Gold Bond, Ollie, Ole.
Ole 2.
Ole 2. Team Kohler, Pursue 46, Team Willies, The Wildebeest, Poppy's Truck, and your favorite, Amos Fedorowski.
333 on the hood. Number 1 in your hearts, Team Amos Fedorowski. Follow us on Instagram.
That's right. We have
a gram.
That's a shameless plug.
It was. And we solicit beer money all along the
That's
trip.
right. Yep. So if you follow Amos Fedorowski, you can buy us a beer now. We don't have to wait.
Prep work.
Yeah.
There's a lot of liver preparation when you're going into Epic 5, which is the moonshine run.
We've trained our whole life for this moment.
This is our moment. Oh, it's going to crash and burn. I can't wait. I mean, just liver-wise. I'm solo for the next 16 days.
That's right.
I'm living that bachelor life again. My lady's
I'm worried.
Is in Thailand, on her way to Thailand. Curling in the air, probably above
Hawaii?
Yeah.
You think maybe?
I don't know.
I don't know either. How long is it?
Can you track her? 22.
You got that tracking system.
Well, I don't know what you're talking about.
What? Oh, we weren't supposed to bring that up on the air.
22-hour flight, I think, from here to Chiang Mai, Thailand.
Chiang Mai. That's
Chiang Mai,
right.
Thailand. Yeah.
Yeah.
With a quick stop in Korea, it's fine.
What's a layover like? Is it a long
like
layover?
a 3-hour layover.
That's good.
In Seoul.
Because, well, like I was looking at flights. We're headed to Panama in February, and I was looking at flights, and they were like, "Oh, layover in Atlanta. It's 45-minute layover." I'm like,
have you been to Atlanta Airport?
I'm gonna miss it.
You're not going to make that next.
flight.
Not making the connecting flight unless you land at like G2 and your next one is in G4.
Right.
Yeah. Otherwise, you're not making it. We had an Atlanta layover once, and it was like
it was massively large airport.
It was very.
And then we were like, "Oh, we have plenty of time." And then we went to the Delta Sky Lounge, and it was like a military cafeteria. It was humongous. Yeah. They had like 6 different buffet tables. They had the longest bar I think I've ever seen in my life was in that airport.
That wasn't, and we made sure that we utilized every last minute that we had there. So
sometimes I wonder if people don't really care about what we have to say.
Ever?
I mean,
like
sometimes I wonder.
Like, is this a laundry list of people? Is this a therapy session?
I don't know.
Do you want to talk about?
I do.
Oh, nobody listens to me.
It's just been exhausting.
I get it. But the shop's full.
It is, man.
Epic Build Center is full. Bunch of cool new rigs in there.
It's wild.
Which is exciting.
I think Kevin Costner said it best. Or maybe that was James Earl Jones.
Wow. This is a big spectrum here.
If you build it, they will come.
Yeah.
I believe that. The same movie, right?
Same movie, yeah. Same movie. I think it was
James Earl Jones.
I think it was James Earl Jones who says it when he came out of
said it
the
to
corn.
Kevin. That's right. Also, hey man, where'd you come from?
A way to not freak out about that. Like,
yeah. Let's talk about
seems
building
completely normal
ballpark. But we've been hitting it out of the ballpark in the new shop. 7,500 square feet of amazingness. All of our bays are filled with really, really cool builds that we're excited to share and continue to share. So make sure you follow along on the socials and see things as they kind of come up. But Mofo will be moving out after the first of the year. So then we'll just
big splash at the old SEMA.
Yeah.
Let's roll that. Look at that.
Look at that beautiful thing.
I don't want to confirm or deny because there's probably some copyright infringement here. I may or may not have stolen this picture from the Nacho Facebook page. I don't know.
I don't know those guys that well, but I think that they'll be all right.
You think
it.
they're okay with it? I mean,
look at those lights.
Yeah.
That's gonna brighten up our future, if nothing else.
That thing is going to be like, there is not an angle on that vehicle that is not going to be illuminated.
It's lit, bro.
It's lit. It's going to be illuminated by a Nacho light from some different angle. Hey, that's a weird segue.
Yeah.
Is that a weird segue?
No, I think it actually works out.
Because without further ado,
hey,
BOSSFORD. It's Hosford, but we'll call him BOSSFORD because he's the boss.
I love that.
NACHO Off-Road Lighting. Congratulations, by the way, taking home some hardware from SEMA this year.
Yeah, that was pretty humbling.
Yeah, tell us a little bit about that, man. Like, that's wild.
Yes, there's 20 categories in all of SEMA that are awarded. There's a couple different new product showcase categories, and then there's manufacturing, display, etc. So we entered our Quattro into the power sports market. And then we also did our dealer display for our countertop display for the Quattro. And man, it was Monday night. I got one call from the SEMA board saying, "Hey, congratulations, you won new product of the year. I need to make sure you're going to be at the breakfast tomorrow morning to accept your award." And I was like, I knew we had cool stuff, but I didn't realize it was going to make a big splash like that. And then about 15 minutes later, phone rings again. I was like, what number is this? And I answer it, and they're like, "Hey, this is SEMA. Want to congratulate you on dealer display of the year." And they're like, "Did we just call you?" And I was like, "Yeah." They're like, "Wow, you're the only one with 2 awards this year."
Holy smokes.
Awesome. Yeah.
Put the whiskey down. We got
making big waves.
That dude, that's amazing. So tell us a little bit.
Look at those awards. Those are pretty.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, they look like nothing. I swear they weigh like 40 pounds a piece.
That's awesome.
Very cool.
Tell us a little bit about the Nacho experience. Tell us a little bit about how it came to be, what you were hoping to accomplish, and clearly you've accomplished it quite well. And it's been, if there's a place to acknowledge your achievements, it's the Specialty Equipment Manufacturers Association. So
yeah. So again, Nacho's still in the infancy stage. We launched as a company January of 2022, but our history goes deep into the off-road LED lighting market. A group of us saw that there's a void in the market right now as far as advancement. I mean, at the beginning, Rigid and Baja and KC and everyone was driving each other to be what's coming out next. Unfortunately, as companies been bought and key people have moved on, it felt like it's kind of been stagnant the last 5 years. So a handful of us said, you know what? Let's get together. Let's be innovative. Let's try and create something new. And we said, let's do it. So we launched it, and we were trying to be more innovative, more user-friendly, not just another lighting company. So a lot of our products have multiple uses in one single light. I think the time of seeing who can put the most amount of lights or the biggest light bar overhead is gone anymore. It's about simplicity. What can be small enough but still get the performance or maximize that person's lighting solution because they camp, they go fast, they rock crawl, they overland, they do a variety of different things, which requires a different light output, whether it's a spot beam for distance or an area light for camping or working. So we're able to take a lot of our patented technology and that circuitry and create the software and have multiple beams that a user can flip between depending on what their situation may be. So that was kind of the premise of NACHO is like, we can't just be a simple on and off light. We need to bring versatility. We need to bring something different to the market. And then everyone is so used to seeing a cast aluminum housing with optics. So we wanted to bring a new style to the market, and that's what we did with the Quattro.
Yeah. And let me tell you.
What he said.
Yeah. No. Well, so you've got how many styles of lights then?
So currently we have 2 styles. We have our Quattro. We have multiple SKUs of the Quattro, and then we have our TM5, which was on MoFo.
Yes.
Above the roof was MoFo.
Yep, the TM5s, which I have those too on my Gladiator too. And they're really handy. Certainly right now when the deers are in rut, and I can blind them all so they don't run into the side of my Jeep on my way home because it gets dark at noon. Welcome to the Northland. Or it gets dark.
Yeah, why does it feel like 9 o'clock all the time? 9 o'clock at night. Well, it's because it's dark. Not with
What time is it getting dark over there?
Like 4:40?
Yeah, 4:30, 4:40.
Oh my! I feel bad when it's 6 o'clock here and it's dark right now. It drives me insane.
Yeah, I think it says sunset 4:38 p.m. That's fucking depressing.
Go to work in the dark, get home in the dark.
Yeah, it is. It is that for sure.
At least this week has been temperature wise decent. So the sacrifice of like, it got to 60
Yeah, but that's
today,
weird too. My body clock
odd.
is like, I can wear a t-shirt outside, and we're kind of like doing our winter prep. We're cleaning out our junkyard and our extra parts area.
Vintage collection.
Yeah. That's
Retro,
right.
The throwbacks.
The aged.
The well-aged.
Right, the well-aged. Yeah. It's kind of weird to be 70 degrees and also dark at 4. So.
Yeah, it's good for us because.
Well, it's funny you say that. I thought about that.
I like the sun.
Well, it is nice. Like I use my lights more just for commuting than like I get to use it almost every day from November to March.
You're our real life testers.
Yep. I mean, really, like you think about it, like, and like longevity and durability. And that's one thing that I've found too. Because I think I've had them on for, I can't remember when we got them on my Gladiator.
I think it was before El Camino del Diablo, the El Camino del Diablo trip, which would have been January.
So a year. So we've had them on for a year. So I've had them on for about 30,000 miles. I think I had the covers on from Eau Claire to Arizona, and then I just pulled them off, and then I never put them back on. And right. So they've just absolutely blasted. My winch looks like crap. The bumper is absolutely just sandblasted and rusty, but the lights look great. Not a crack or like they just
it really stands out. Makes the whole vehicle.
Yeah. Yeah. When you wash it, they still shine. Not that I wash it. I should take more care of my things.
I think what we've come to here is
builds character.
That's right. That's what I say too. Yeah.
Well, and because you're moving on, you got a Bronco coming in now.
That's right.
So we're gonna have to outfit.
Yeah. What do you guys got for Broncos?
We've got, what Bronco are you getting?
So I got an Outer Banks 4-door. Yeah, I don't know what more.
We got plenty. We got 8-pillar mounts with Quattros. We got fog mounts so we can replace your fog lights.
That's one thing I noticed too with the Quattros, certainly on Mofo, because we have them as flush mount. We have them as pillar mount. What are those mounts? They were just like it's like an angled mount. So we could we mounted it on the side and it just
backwards.
Yeah, points backwards. But even like your hardware, I haven't seen, I guess, innovation. Because even when you told us, what the hell was that?
I don't know, an Indy car just drove by the
Jesus, we just had an F1.
Yeah, that guy's on his way to Vegas. He's late for the F1.
For sure.
Yeah, he's late for the race.
But even when we ran into you guys, I think it was around the Barrett Jackson time. We were in Scottsdale down in 2020. One. And then we met up in Moab that spring. And it was like, oh, we're coming out with some new lights. And we believed you. And we saw, because when we saw them in Moab, it was like, oh, okay, all right. But the quality and the attention to detail, just the fact that like your mounts for the lights are 10 or 15% thicker than, other ones. The hardware is complete. It's the bolts aren't too long. It's just like little Nylock says you care, man. Like there's just the little things like that you paid attention to that as an installer, we notice.
Good. That was our deal. I mean, again, the NACHO experience, that's what we go for. I mean, experience, and you hear a lot of that from corporate world, which drives me insane a little bit, but it truly is the experience. It's not about someone opening a package and going, oh, sweet, those lights look good. 2 months later, they look like crap. Or
right.
The bolts are just standard steel bolts and they're corroding now to the bracket, or vice versa, corroding to the A-pillar you put on. I mean, or the powder coat or the anodizing is fading, and now you got purple $800 lights on your vehicle. That's awful.
Yeah, when you spend that kind of money, you want it, I want better than race quality. Everybody, I was just having this conversation out in the shop talking to a guy that stopped by. He's like, I'm running into issues. I got like a bunch of leaky fittings. I got race style AN fittings on all my brake stuff, blah, blah, blah. And he's like, after, I just drive the car and then it just starts leaking. And I'm like, well, race doesn't mean it's good for a long time. When we're building stuff like this, certainly like the Overlanders and like, like you want it to be able to be on a KOH racer and like take the beating for 24 hours, but it's 24 hours. Yes, it's a lot of beating. It's a lot of pounding. Don't get me wrong. But like, I want something that I can drive to the off-road park, go beat the snot out of, and then drive home. And so when we're building vehicles, like I want it to stand the test of time. I want all the products that we're using to do the same thing. I don't want it to just be like, race guys are constantly, you're stopping in the pits. Everything's getting tightened. Everything's getting adjusted. Everything's getting messed with.
Phil doesn't tighten anything.
I don't do that.
Let it rip, Tater Chip.
No,
90% of the stuff gets replaced before the next race.
Exactly. So you don't get to see, well, what does it look like if it's constantly used? Everybody was on that coil-over shock kick, which that's great. Certainly not in our climate. I will tell my customers, absolutely not, unless you don't mind spending X amount of dollars annually getting these things like serviced and gone through. Well, that's a lot of money. Yeah, I know. It's a bad idea. Don't do it. So with your guys' stuff, like I said, with that whole going down to Arizona, 30,000 miles of like abuse, and they look new. I think the only thing that I had to do was one time I had to like reposition the rubber ring around the outside.
Oh yeah,
because it like tweaked a little bit. So
and honestly, that was just to give some added branding. It's not something that's crucial to the light, but it looks cool. It's something different. Gives a little texture change to it.
No, they're cool, and I like the look.
We wanted to make sure that like the people in Florida or the people where you guys are at in Wisconsin, Indiana, where the salted roads destroy stuff.
Absolutely.
And we want to make sure that that light product isn't going to look like crap after the first winter because of salt corrosion.
Yep. No, rust bleeds. I think some of the best, having that mindset definitely comes out with some of the best products in the aftermarket. I'm going to go on a shameless plug for Max-Bilt here quick too, but like our center consoles, when we came out with those back in 2007, the important things to me was stainless steel hinges, because rust bleed drives me absolutely bonkers, and an insanely high UV properties for the powder coating, because there's nothing, like you said, like I was building a steel box, that a security box, a lock box designed for a vehicle that I want people to feel comfortable not having a top on. So, and you know what? I want it to be out in the Phoenix sun. I want it to be, it's hotter than the blazes here in the summer too. And I want it to be able to get rained on, and I don't want it to look like garbage. And having that kind of forward thinking is what separates you, even if you have some of that corporate conversation or lingo in the, because it keeps us small. It humanizes the brand. It keeps our connection to the customer. And if you don't sacrifice those things, that is a solid foundation that everybody's going to want to emulate. And then maybe
100%. Like our sales model, traditional, it's like big manufacturers goes right to distribution. Distribution goes out to the dealers, and there's really no communication from the manufacturer to the dealers unless there's a problem. It's the distributor that has all the product and just distributes it out when someone puts an order in. Our model is direct to dealer and direct to consumer. Like there's no hiding. We're selling direct to dealers across the US and internationally. So we want to keep our ears open on feedback. Every part of the country has different issues, and what's the solution to that? You can't win them all, but if we can hone in on some crucial criteria and make the best product we can to accommodate this region, that's trying to be as impactful as we can.
And that, again, that's what separates you guys from the rest, I believe.
There was some big news also out of SEMA outside of the 40-pound trophies that you guys had to put into a carry-on.
It was 80 pounds.
80 pounds worth of hardware. Somehow we got to get this in the checked bag. But it was the announcement of the partnership with ARB. Tell me how that all kind of came to fruition and what that means for you guys moving forward.
Yes, so we've actually had a relationship with different people throughout ARB through our professional careers, just as we've been in this industry for a long time. ARB was looking to grow their lighting menu. They have 7 and 9-inch lights that they sell internationally. They really don't have a domestic name in their lighting program outside of all their overlanding equipment and shocks and bumpers, etc. So we just had the conversation. They saw our vision. They saw how our products complement theirs as far as quality goes. And then they see how our products are going to complement their larger products. So right now we're going to drive the domestic market still, North America. So Canada, America is still 100% NACHO. ARB wants to help us grow internationally. So it's still NACHO around the entire world, but ARB now is going to help us go international pretty much overnight, being able to sell NACHO product anywhere in the world.
That's wild.
Yeah. Congratulations.
Yeah.
That's big too.
It's helping us kick into high gear too. Our product roadmap's pretty aggressive, and with their support and their team, it's going to allow us to get where we want to go as far as products go a lot quicker.
Well, that kind of goes into my next question too on growth. What the future looks like. Are you guys, when you say product, are you saying, do you want to come up with more lights? Are you talking about different ways to mount the lights? Like what's the
both
growth?
Okay. A light is only good if there's somewhere to put it.
True.
So there's going to be light solutions, but then what's that solution going to be for that light to integrate into a vehicle? So we're looking for that full 360-degree light solution, and then that application for that light to be mounted and wired easy. There's a lot of new technology that's going to help simplify how things get installed. Instead of just your traditional run and wire off, let's try to come up with more plug and play kits, easy to install for the dealers and on the direct to consumer market as well.
Bluetooth
lighting.
Shut
he gave you
the front door. Oh, so that means anybody in my shop can wire things then. Because there's no wires.
We've opened up a whole new door.
But it would.
I didn't say Bluetooth wiring, but
but Bluetooth controlling. Do you guys have an app for my phone yet?
Not yet.
All right. But it's been talked about.
Again, it's got to come to the interface too. It's got to work right. We just don't want to put anything out there that's going to be standard or.
Right. No. I get that 100%. And I'd rather wait for things to be perfected. But
you need to delete 37,000 apps off your phone before you can add it.
you don't tell me what to do.
I don't. Apple said you need another terabyte of space because you have no moss
buy
room.
this for an extra $10 a month.
Yeah.
Dude, did you just get that within the last week too? I feel like it's a scam.
I get it all the time.
Yeah, I know.
I deny it.
I denied it until he couldn't send me a video, and I was like, fine, I'll pay the $99 or whatever for the year, and I bought it, and then I still couldn't get the video, so it didn't even matter.
But hey,
now
they got your money,
and now I don't know where to go on my phone to I'm a product of big business.
They see me sell.
Coming.
It's an easy sell, yeah. Yes.
Yes.
Do you agree? I agree. Yes.
Instant satisfaction.
Yeah, give it
I'm
to me
not
now.
satisfied. Who can I yell at? Nobody. Great. Yeah. No, that's really exciting. Are you guys? Is it round lights? Bigger round lights? Smaller round lights? Interior lighting? Work lighting?
All the above.
All of it. So you guys are going to really open up the product offering.
100%. Yep, 100%. It's still East Coast versus West Coast is still different. Disco style lighting, people love that in Florida.
Yep.
And Northeast ask for different things for their Jeep. They're still living in the light bar era. So it's just there's a wide variety. Again, regionally, everything's asked for differently. We're going to try and pick and choose what we see as the higher demand and what we can check box across most of those platforms, and then start going down that priority list.
Headlamps. How about headlamps?
Ooh, headlamps. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Light the way.
Blinding people as you walk through. Just walking through the shop. Oh, sorry, I forgot to turn that off. How many times I hear that walking through there?
Well, yeah, and even shop lighting, correct?
Yeah, we have some sweet high bay lights that's available right now for garages, shops. It's all LED. The optic system in it's pretty neat. It's not just your standard here. Let's blow a hot beam right down in the middle of your shop. How we have the optics designed is that Steve does a better job explaining how he bends light, but there's purpose behind our design on our shop light.
There's the airbender, and then there's Steve the light bender.
He is the light bender.
Steve.
Ninja.
Who's here right now?
I don't know. It's rambunctious. Maybe it's the F1
thought
driver that went flying by.
I
in
thought
the
someone was
shop.
yelling, and then I realized it was laughter.
It's just-
sometimes there's like a fine line.
No.
Is it
Welcome to
nervous
Max-Bilt.
laughter that's anger?
We don't know.
Or is it happiness?
Depends on the customer.
Well, typically, it's happiness.
Yeah, most of the time.
Right?
The one thing I love about Nacho in the industry is the way you guys really stick to from the marketing aspect of it, that it's fun. Like, I think a lot of times that gets lost in the mess with a lot of other brands that are out there. Is like we get it. You're tough. You're strong. Like you can climb rocks. You can do all the things. But the fact that Nacho has always not only had the top of the line product since you guys debuted, but you've kept the marketing, the imaging, the attitude. I mean, down to nacho.love. I mean, everything is, I mean, remember that the things that we do in our leisure time, it's fun. Like
Right.
that's the whole point of it. So to keep it lighthearted, to keep it fun, to add a nacho as part of the mascot debut from
the
a
fact
couple
that
of
it's
weeks ago,
nacho.
like that's fun. I mean, that is another way to draw, the clientele in, is because, I get that you're, the toughest light and you can run it up against a brick, but man, we're here to have fun.
Right. Yeah.
Most of the time.
100%. There's obviously some hurdles with it, but we're getting over those hurdles, and it's starting to go in our favor now. And people are starting to see our message. Like, yes, I understand the message. At first, we had to get the message out, and people weren't hearing the message, and it was like, oh, what is this? What is that? That is kind of, we're not answering as many questions as like, what is Nacho? They come by and they love and high five, and they're like, "My team Nacho!" The excitement is starting to snowball.
That's
yeah.
awesome.
No, that's well. What
That's
was it?
marketing geek stuff right there.
Dude, I
It's just
get
like,
it. Well,
cool.
I think I was 3 weeks ago. I took my daughter out on, and like, we still should do this.
It should be an annual thing. Or you should switch up teammates because I would like to go this time. Yeah. Sorry, Jaders. Yeah. It's my turn.
Maybe she can come too.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe we can, yeah. But my daughter, she's 9, and her favorite food is nachos. So I'm like, man, we need to do like somehow tie in the nacho lights and a nacho tour. But that night or that weekend, we went around, I think we had 6 or 7 different establishments in the area that all claimed to have some of the best nachos. We came up with a rating system. It was nachos and root beer. And so we might need your support in the future.
I'm just saying, light the way.
You know what? That's what we could do. We should publish this rating system, and we just print it off in a card, and then in every box of nachos lights sold, like, hey, and then they could submit it, and then we can have this worldwide nacho database on Facebook. You heard that here, folks.
Whenever you're wheeling,
that's right.
Yeah,
exactly.
Best nachos in my area that I'm wheeling at.
I think
maybe
that's
like
great.
A top 5, top 3.
Oh my gosh, we could talk to Onyx. We could talk to Onyx. See. Bring it around. All right. What else do we need to do? Let's solve.
Harpless there. I just wanted to throw that. This is where dreams are made. People.
That's right. Absolutely.
Things happen here on this podcast. That's why we're 120th or something.
Hang on. I got to tell Adam that he's got to call Sheldon quick. Our diesel diagnostician was supposed to show up, and he just called me twice. So hang on. I'll be right back.
Be right back. But no,
and now a word from our sponsors. Oh, Brian from Nacho.
Yeah, how about that? It works out well. You guys
works out great.
With the SEMA experience. I know you guys had a lot of vehicles there, obviously with the brand on there, but you guys are still everywhere. SEMA's obviously it's a huge show, the biggest aftermarket product show in the world. But you guys are everywhere, just like watching the travels now, adding the power sports and motorsports aspect in there seems to add a whole nother layer of scheduling. Is your 2024, like, I want to know what does the calendar look like? Do you get to be home at all, or are you just like buckle up, buttercup, we're on the road?
Thankfully we're growing the Nacho team. So we got more teammates that are going to help divide and conquer.
Perfect.
But let's just say those last 2 years was wild. Me, Brad, and Steve were everywhere. So our sales department's growing, our marketing department's growing, our engineering department's growing. So that's going to help a lot of this. Let's pick and choose who best fits that person. And then that way we can all have time at home too, because it's important.
Yeah. What do you have a show that you're like, that one's mine? Or do you have a handful that you're like, need to be there? Is it, EJS or G Beach or?
Not anymore.
You've been to the show
shows over my 42 years. I feel like that they're all fun. They all have their little niches that are always fun to be there. And sometimes just like, man, I really don't want to go to that show. Do you want to go? And then I end up going, and I'm like, I realize why I love this show.
Right.
So I don't know. I like them all. They all have their own little niches. Again, it's the different part of the country all brings different people in. And then you get the new enthusiasts that's never even been, they just bought their first Jeep.
Right.
And now this is their first off-road show that they go to. And then that experience interaction just made that whole week worth it, whether they bought anything or bought the Nacho story or not. But you can just see their excitement and that the off-road industry is not dying. The off-road industry is continuing to grow. And those are moments that I still enjoy.
And I think you can see, like you talked about different sections of the country in different things. Like we've been, mostly because they fall the same time of the year. We never really do EJS and Jeep Beach the same year because they're always about the same time. But the vast difference between Daytona Beach Jeeps and Jeeps that are out in Moab, you're like, oh, lights, lift kits, and sound bars, man. Let's.
That's it.
Yeah. What is this? This needs to crawl across this. Needs to crawl across the sand. Like,
right.
Where are we going?
Also, your gold chain needs to have a big gold nacho on it.
Oh yeah, big old
big Mo nacho down at the bottom.
That's right.
But can we get it to spin?
Oh yeah. No, we can. Absolutely.
We can do anything.
Yeah. Are you kidding me?
Flava Flav.
So what does your show season look like next year? Does she?
Man, we got a packed house. I think we got 18 shows on our schedule right now.
Oh.
And that doesn't include like local Southwest, certain charity events or dealer support stuff. We got quite a few like right now, obviously coming into the holiday seasons. There's a bunch of different dealers and car shows locally here that do toys for tots or stuff for the first responders that we make sure that we're part of. And those aren't accounted on our show schedule. So, I mean, we have 18 main shows, and then there's sprinkle of industry style shows or community style shows that we're all part of.
Okay, cool. What's the first one you'll be doing in 2024? Right? 3.
I think we're going to be at Parker in January.
Okay.
Parker 425.
Yep.
And then I think King of the Hammers is after that. Mint 400, Easter Jeep, Jeep Beach.
Are you a pretty
Overland
popular light?
West.
Are you pretty popular light? I'm totally cutting you off and switching subject.
Squirrel.
Are you popular with the King of the Hammers crowd?
Yeah, just with the versatility and the build quality of the light. I mean, in a lot of King of the Hammers, I mean, ideally, you don't even turn your lights on in the King of the Hammers race because you're finishing in daytime.
Right.
I mean, you finish good.
Right.
So,
Ideally.
but there's also those times you're not finishing good, and you have the high speed lake beds, and then you have your slow speed rock crawl winch areas, and that TM5 light. With the versatility of having a lot of performance downrange as well as that work area light, whether someone's winching you up or you're trying to get unstuck. Again, coming back to the simplicity of the light and not having lights everywhere, having one or two sets of lights, but they do everything is king. Or I mean, it's king in King of the Hammers.
Well, that was good. I like what you did there. Really bring that one back around.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. I could imagine, but I always, you wonder, sometimes you build a product. I don't know if, I don't think serving the racing industry was first and foremost the industry you're trying to fix.
Serving the racing industry is a brand move. King of the Hammers is different, but like a lot of the Baja 1000 stuff, I mean, those are those staples you put on here, Baja tested and Baja 1.
Yeah.
And it goes with the same thing with King of the Hammers. King of the Hammers tested, tried and true, and victory. So some of those big staple events, whether it's in the Jeep market or the off-road world or the desert racing stuff, those are key marketing plays.
Yeah, but it's that consumer market that you're looking for. And also, man, like it was getting ridiculous there with the amount of different lights. Like I remember when this was a long time ago, companies starts with the letter R. Maybe you've heard of them. Maybe not.
Doesn't ring a bell.
Flimsy.
Anyways. I don't know her.
Yeah. Never met her. Why?
But when they came out with the different diffused, flood, spot, and in more of like the aftermarket vehicle application. Obviously, tractors have been having that shit for quite a while. But and how awesome that was, because then but then it was like you have a switch bank like a F14 inside your Jeep, and then it's like, and then you never really remember which one does what, and then 350 miles of wire to wire them all. So when you guys, I remember my initial reaction at the CarQuest parking lot in Moab, Utah, when you showed me how it worked, and it was just like, no fucking shit. Duh. Like, where was this? Yeah. Also,
but
man, those guys are smart.
That was all part of the innovation. That was like the solutions coming up and listening to the customer and the off-roader back in the day. Like, sweet, you had a spot beam. Man, I have my family in the car. I'm not going to go 80 miles an hour.
Right.
Well, shoot, we need a light that does this.
Yeah.
And then it was like, oh, I need it. So that was all part of that evolution. And then it just kind of stopped. Now, how can we simplify?
Right. Yeah. Yep, absolutely. Yeah, because as much as we also like billing out electrical wiring in the shop because there's a lot of hours to bill, doesn't mean that we really enjoy it.
I can tell you by the looks on some of the
I don't
techs'
like it.
faces when they come out of the shop after wiring. It's unpleasant.
Well,
It's an unpleasant look.
We don't allow crimp.
You give them their space.
Yeah.
Yep, we don't allow crimp connectors in our shop at all. Everything's soldered, all connections.
Nice.
Now there are times, obviously, that they come in or the guys will like sneak something in because they're like, yeah, but these are like super double patented waterproof solder seal super whammy, and it's like, well, maybe in that one spot because you can't get your soldering iron in there, but
Yeah.
so sometimes we're always looking for ways to put can we just put a relay bank in here just so we can run less wires or anything. So
Yeah.
it's necessity is the mother of invention, and you guys hit it right on the head.
And it's only the beginning.
I know. Is there anything like, can you give us any like super secret information?
My hands are tied. Can't do it right now. It's not going to be long.
We'll just start rumors.
Yeah, it's not going to.
There you go. We live on rumors right now. It's amazing what people think we're doing and what's happening. So let it go.
Yeah, absolutely. I can't wait to see your Bluetooth wiring.
Yeah, looking forward to that
See? There we
LED
go.
nacho bowl. The LED nacho bowl is going to be huge. It's just going to be a lit bowl.
LED, the nacho
What do you
bowl.
guys
Nacho.
got coming up in 24?
Well, our biggest thing right now is the addition of our new shop to be able to do our builds, and so that's a big focus for us. We've got a cool product that we're hoping to be able to launch in Moab this year. That's innovative, easy, fun, something kind of cool, a way to protect some of the underside of a vehicle. We pay a lot of attention to the exterior, and a way to kind of customize and personalize it without having to break the bank. And it stemmed a lot from the vehicles we saw in Florida as well as in Moab. So just think color coordination between body and suspension linkages and steering linkages and whatnot. Something fun, something easy. I wanted to think of what could I sell or come up with that a father-son could still do on a Saturday afternoon. Something to tinker around with in the driveway, and kind of bring some of that back. Because, I don't know if you remember going to the parts store. They used to have carbs and intakes behind the
whole thing.
Yeah, and it's like, we can't do that anymore. You can't just like, hey, like, what do you want to do this afternoon? Well, let's run down to the parts store and like spend some time bonding together and do a little something that you get to stand back and be like, cool, that's tough. You guys have a product like that. And you've simplified it enough that you can get way more action out of that product without having to do twice the amount of work. So, so just look, Rod Wrapper will be coming in 2024. So we're excited about that.
It's the first time we dropped that info.
Yeah, I've never said
about
that before. Yeah.
You heard it here first, folks.
That's right. Good thing we trademarked it and patented it.
Now we just have to make sure that it comes out in.
That's also
That's right.
That's how we
fine.
do that.
Now we've end dated it.
But yeah, we in the edition we definitely kind of ramped up our abilities. We bought the equipment to be able to produce that kind of. It's more of that like, well, shit. I'll just say it. But basically, it's color coordinated PPE for linkages. So you color match your vehicle to your tie rod end and your drag link or your control arms.
Dude, it's important.
Yeah.
People love that stuff.
Exactly. And it's what purpose does it serve? Nothing. It looks cool. It makes you feel proud. It's that like, it's nice to be able to slam the door, get 10 steps away, turn around, look back at it and smile type of thing.
Yeah.
Or like, how can we go the extra mile?
It's what we did with our Quattro too. The housing that we have on the Quattro is removable, so it can be painted and put back together. Now you have your customized white without
Yep.
tampering with any seals or anything of that nature. And but it comes back to that. It's just somebody's like, I can make something my own with this.
Right. Exactly. And it just sets it. And we wanted something that didn't break the bank, but also, like, we're not saying that this stuff we've researched, and that's what's taken us some time, is researching the right type of product that is you can easily apply, that you can spend, that $100 mark on, that's like, hey, you know what? Like, I could run this for 2 seasons, and if I had to replace it, I'm okay with it. The last thing I want to do is keep powder coating people's linkages or control arms and then setting them down the road to get sandblasted. And then it's like, they come in and it's like, well, it's going to be another $1,800 to blow all this stuff apart and then get it blasted and then, re-powder coat it. So it was just, it's a way at a price point that you can feel comfortable having to replace it if need to. But then with product offerings and styles that make you feel like you can actually make it your own. So
that's awesome.
That's what we're really looking forward to. Mark, if you didn't hear that, I just dropped Rod Rapper.
I thought I heard that.
Guess what? The clock is now ticking.
Yep.
We've started the countdown
Well,
clock.
in that case, I'm out of here. Good luck, boys.
There goes our designer. He's had enough of our shit. You guys in your damn podcast.
Are you guys, is Easter Jeep the first event you're doing then?
Yeah, well, so we've got a couple other events. I'm doing the El Camino del Diablo with TNT Customs the end of January, first week of February. So maybe I'll swing in and say, hey, the goal, I'd love to be able to have the Bronco. So heck, maybe we could even do like a parking lot install of some of the products, and we could do a little
do a
little video log series of us getting it put on and then what we think it's like, that's actually not a bad idea.
I would let you build your own lights here.
Oh, all right. So that's what we'll do. So our first event of this year is we're going to hang out with Nacho in Arizona before we do the El Camino del Diablo. And then we're still ironing it out next year, but I think Moab is,
Cool.
We're going to swap between Moab and that other place.
Cheap Beach.
Daytona. In Daytona. And
Yeah, keep us posted if you're coming this way. We'll have some fun.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
Build some lights and do that install if you got the Bronco and
yeah.
make some fun with
It's
it.
back on the assembly line
it's
now.
back on the assembly line now
because it was got on the assembly line, then they went on strike and they just shut the lights off and it just stopped.
like that day. It was
Just-
they're like, "Oh, it moved it up a week." So we just started production. Your Bronco is on the line. That was Monday, whatever day the shutdown was. And then I was like, somebody was like something about, oh, there was a strike. And I was like, oh, wait. And I'm like hyper obsessive about checking like where it's at on the order tracker. So then like Tuesday morning, I'm like, what? And it's just like suspended.
just stopped.
And I was like, man,
Lights are off.
those bitches just shut the light off. Yeah, there it is, sitting in the dark. And then I was like, man, is
The
that
emotional
really?
roller coaster.
Yeah, is this the one that I want? Is this the day that everybody just said fuck it and then walked out the doors?
And then the day they had to come back, like,
And the day they come
back
back
to
and
this
they're
shit.
like, oh, I guess,
great.
oh, work on
Put
this,
this
guys.
Bronco together.
Yeah, let's just push this one through.
Right? Yeah.
You torque on that? Sure
Well,
did.
maybe
Yeah.
they just went back into work and they were like, man, I'm just so happy what the union did
Right.
for us. I'm so thankful for the opportunities that I have.
Let's get back to it.
Let's get back to
do it.
That's what I'm
Let's put
going
some
with.
love into this one.
So November 9th, it said it was like back in production. So I think it was a week ago.
Right.
So
What's the time frame then? Like 30 days?
it should be even less than that. I was really hoping to have it for this pre-run trip that we're doing for our Epic Willie's Adventure in Pigeon Forge, but alas, I don't think that's going to happen. But that's another cool event that we put on that that is slated for next June. So period correct 40s and 50s Willie's Jeeps. I don't know if you've followed that much in the past, but it's a hoot.
It's a hoot.
That's awesome.
And
Yeah.
it's all based around moonshine this year, so someone's going to die.
Oh yeah. Well, also we won't run
Probably
out of
this
fuel
guy.
because we'll just put that in the tank.
It's probably going to be me. Saying.
I took too much. Man.
Too
I
much
need a more
fuel.
appealing backdrop if I'm going to do this again.
Yeah, I mean, it's not
We could do some Photoshop stuff
Too
and put you
bad.
like in.
right.
Yeah, this is weak.
You need like a big chip.
That's
yeah.
it.
Cardboard cutout of El
Yeah.
Nacho.
What would the Nacho Center? The Nacho Studios.
Nacho Studio.
Nacho Studios.
Nacho. This is Nacho Studios.
Yeah,
That's
Feel-
a good one.
I feel like we need a banner.
I
Put
think so
right
too.
back. Get my other shoulder right back here. somewhere.
Yeah, we do
Behind
need a
me.
banner. You guys got any banners? We need to do some more branding. We need
Yeah,
more
you guys don't have a
cameras.
banner?
No,
We do not. Send one. Send
Send
one with
banner.
love.
I'll send you a banner.
Perfect.
We get one for out in the old Epic Build Center. Put one
Yep.
out there and put one behind us here in the.
Yeah, that's
Podcast
another
studio.
big thing. That's where it's tough to try to fit in all the shows and whatnot too, especially when we have a full shop here. Because we want to build our new podcast center as well as Adam's shop manager office out in the new addition. And we've got a lot of really cool ideas for that. So we got a lot going on, but we're just gonna keep doing all the things. So
That's awesome. All we can do.
absolutely. But we really appreciate the partnership and everything that you guys have brought to the industry. Again, congratulations on the big W's at SEMA. And we'll see you on the trail, I guess. Hey.
No, I really appreciate the support and everything you guys give us too, and obviously the support that everybody has given us outside of the industry, just within the country, outside the country. I mean, the support we're getting is pretty amazing, and obviously we're very grateful for that.
Well, let's keep lighting up the dark.
That's why they call him BOSSFORD, because he's the boss.
He's a bounce.
He's the boss.
Yeah.
All right, y'all. Thanks for tuning in. Subscribe, follow, do all the things.
Yeah, I'm back in that. Hey, where you on?
Hey, back in that bag again. Don't bring me around your friends. You know that I'm bagging them. Request me on Facebook. No, I ain't adding them. Positions I had her in. Calling her friend. Tell her pull up. Word, let's make it a gathering. They
I
like
said,
that
baby, nah, I'm mad. I'ma slash again. Buckets on buckets.